Hello everybody, I am Developer Relations Engineer David Jones-Gilardi, and today I want to show you something super cool and easy that you can do in Langflow when you want to get access to some of the latest models from various providers out there. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, so let's set up what I've got here. If you take a look at the left-hand side of the screen over here, you can see I have Langflow. And this is, by the way, using the very latest Langflow 1.7, and I'll get into why that's important here in a moment. But as you've probably heard, very recently, OpenAI just released their GPT-5.2 models, which have some pretty cool capabilities. I'm going to bring in OpenAI. So let's say, hey, for some reason, when there's the list here of all sorts of models. This is obviously coming from OpenAI API, but let's say for some reason the model like GPT-5.2 is not in this list. How might I go about adding it? Well, it turns out it's actually pretty darn easy. Because everything in Langflow is Python and you can modify that Python, if I just click on the component and go to code, I can modify this code. So what I've done here is I've added a new string input field. So take a look right here. You'll see custom model name. You'll see there's the name, and then you'll see this will be that tooltip. So if I come back over here, you can see I have this tooltip, giving some extra information, right? So once I've added that input field, now this is all I need to do. You'll see this model to use code. All I'm doing is looking at that custom model name. I'm seeing if there's a value there. I'm just going to override the value that is in the dropdown. So if I were to open up my model name again so you could see it. So yes, I've by default, I've got this GPT-5 Nano, but because I put something in here in GPT-5.2 in this custom model name, it's just simply overriding the model name. So really, that's it, right? So it says model to use. If there's a value there, it's going to override whatever's ever in the dropdown and then just uses that model. Simple as that, right? So simple, easy to do. So what this means now is that I can just put in whatever model name, as long as it's available via OpenAI's Models API, then that should just work. Okay, now great. So that means now I have access to 5.2. But 5.2, from at least what I understand, one of the features it really has is being able to do, generate code and everything. So we're going to put that to the test here in a moment. But 5.2 can also be a bit on the expensive side. So what I've done here is I've actually set up a smart route, and this is a new feature in Langflow 1.7 that allows me to use another language model to kind of judge on different routes I might have. Now, in this particular case, what I'm saying is I have one route that would be for coding requests, and I have another route that would be for non-coding requests. And so for those coding requests, I'm going to funnel that up to my 5.2 agent. And then for my non-coding requests, I'm going to go ahead in this particular case, if I expand this, I'm going to go to GPT-4.1 Nano, right? Because why? It's quick, it's cheap, and I'm trying to be super lightweight with those non-coding requests, right? So this is a really kind of cool feature here because it allows me to split. I could have more than two, by the way. I'm not limited to just two routes here, but it allows me to have multiple paths. And because Langflow allows you to modify the agent instructions, I can give very explicit instructions to my coding agent that are way different from the ones that I'm using for the generic non-coding one, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this works. So on the right-hand side, I have a Langflow terminal UI that I created that has a couple pretty cool features. One in particular is because I want to test out how well GPT-5.2 does with coding tasks. I made it so I could run Python code from the TUI, right? So let's go ahead and do this. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to just say hello, right? Just get a response, right? Make sure we're good. Yay. Okay, so now if I come over here, I can see I have this session ID. That's that same one there. And you can see GPT-4.1 Nano responded. So already interesting. I just asked it. I just said hello, right? And you can see the routing is already kicking in. But now let's do something a little bit more interesting. Say, create a hello world app in Python. I didn't spell Python correct, but that's okay. I think the model will figure it out. Great. Okay, so it created like a simple little thing, and I could just run that, and it executed. So, okay, great. Not really probably stressing out 5.2 too much. Let's just go for it and say, create a pixel art Christmas themed matched 3 app in Python using Python. Okay, see what it does here. That should be fun. All right, so I can see that it's immediately streaming the response back, right? So it's probably going to take it just a moment to do this, right? Yeah, I can see it's actually doing its thing. So we'll give it just a moment as it spits out all this code. All right then, so it looks like GPT-5.2 spit out a pretty good amount of code. Let's see what it did. And check that. Oh, that's actually cool. All right, so let's see. Does it work? Does it work? I gotta find some. Here's one. I missed it. Oh, it even put in. Wow, it started off with like animations and everything. Oh, there's a 4 of a kind. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see if we can improve this. Right, this is actually pretty darn cool. I mean, it literally just spit out this match 3 game. But let's do a little better. Okay, let's see. Let's double the size of the viewport and add so animations like sparkle and glow to the items. Now, while that's doing that, what I want you to notice over here on this side, you can see where, in fact, for these coding tasks, if we come up here, let's double check. You can see it's GPT-5.2, right? GPT-5.2 compared to when I first talked to it, it was GPT-4.1 Nano. So this is that smart router in Langflow that's taking effect, and it is, passing off tasks to the agent that is relevant, given if it's a coding request or not. All right, we'll just wait for a moment. Let this go ahead and generate the new code. Okay, it looks like it finished up there. Yeah, we got a big old chunk of code that threw at us. And we'll go ahead and execute this. And we'll bring it up. Boom. Okay, so remember I asked it to double the size of the viewport, which it did. And then I asked it to add some animations. This is a little bit much on the animation side, but let's see how the game... Oh, wow, so it's calculating score. I know anyone watching this is probably like, dude, it's right there. How can you not see it? Right? Okay, this is actually... I think this is pretty cool. The fact that 5.2 is essentially giving me these pretty usable output here, literally on the fly, is actually pretty darn impressive. But now with that, so the last thing I want to do though is we'll clear these out, but let's make sure that so what did we just do? Okay, so if this is working right, then we should see that this is not only being done by Nano, but Nano has context, right? Because it's using the same memory space and such like that. Notice here, boom. The GPT-4.1 Nano was the one that actually gave the response, not 5.2. And it was able to do that based off of the responses from 5.2. Again, this is using that message history component in tool mode with those agents. So there you have it. We're able to very quickly and easily add support for GPT-5.2 or any of the other 5.2 models right here, adding that custom model name field into our component. And then we can use some of Langflow's new capabilities to intelligently route requests to different models and different agents depending on our particular application need. And with that, everybody, happy holidays and happy coding.